Wait, you've smoked pot?
Yeah.
Do you smoke pot?
Yeah.
You do?
I feel like I'm like getting a turn. Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Do you smoke pot?
No, because I get anxiety. I have before.
I smoke pot all the time, guys.
Yeah, I know.
You can tell.
Honestly, like not very
I brought it up
often.
25 times. I'm like, yeah, so when I was blasted watching Dumbo again. I'm like, I smoke weed. You're like, yeah, but you said it 40 times on the couch.
Not very often. I would do it with my ex-boyfriend because he was a massive stoner. And when it's like around, when it's like easily accessible, I'm like, I'll do some of that. But not. Yeah, I don't get anxiety. I just don't. I just go to sleep. I get really giggly and laugh at everything. And
I
then
laugh at nothing.
Whoa.
I went in literally nothing. I just started laughing. But I was
gotta get you
with
high
my
and make you laugh.
ex-husband.
Yeah.
Oh no, then I start crying.
Oh God, no!
You gotta do a high episode of your podcast.
Like, can we actually?
It's psychotic. This was in my early 20s, and I've smoked a lot since, but I had taken an edible with my ex-husband before going into a James Brown movie. And when I was in it, I started to peak, and I looked over at him, and like I've seen that I was having anxiety. My heart was racing. I was like starting to tear up for no reason, and I didn't even know what was going on or what was going on in the movie. And I look at him, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. And then he's like, it's okay. And like, just watch the movie. And I'm sitting there trying to relax. And then suddenly I start laughing. And nothing set me off. I just started laughing. And it wasn't like little giggles. I was laughing hysterically.
Like maniacally.
And
maniacal
apparently it was during a really sad scene where he was like getting taken away from his mother or something. And I had to be taken out of the theater laughing the whole way.
Oh, you want to hear something worse?
That's crazy.
I took an edible in Amsterdam with my boyfriend at the time, and remember I laughed at everything.
Yeah.
We decided to do a bike ride around the city and then go to the Anne Frank house.
No.
Yep.
No.
And I'm Jewish.
That's not good.
I don't think I could go to the Anne Frank house on an edible either.
Like, it didn't hit for a long time. And so I kept eating more because I was brownies and they're so, and just like 2 hours later, I was like, I guess I'm immune. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't
I
work
guess
on me.
I'm immune. Hair flip.
Yeah, 2 hours later after waiting in line and entering the Anne Frank house, I was like, oh,
Shit. So this is where she wrote her diary.
doing a tour.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to hide my Star of David. I feel like a fucking disgrace. Like, I don't know if this can be in the podcast. But it was involuntary and very embarrassing and a huge disrespect to my people. But
Was it fun though? The Anne Frank house.
the way I saw it, yeah.
Now everyone has to experience the Anne Frank house on an edible.
My parents were like, oh, like, how was this? Like, it's pretty profound, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't want to tell you how it was. You'd be disappointed in a lot of things of me, and that would be the number one. And I haven't taken an edible since, so they're just too strong for me.
Yeah.
And they hit you too quickly. Like, just all at once. 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
It's been maybe 3 or 4 years since I've had anything.
Really, I had an edible last night.
I should have had an edible this morning.
I get panic attacks though. Like,
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there and like I'll start hyperventilating and thinking I think I can't swallow.
That's crazy.
That's terrifying.
So I'm just thinking like gagging and choking like the whole time.
Filming for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It's an edible.
That is terrifying. Oh my God. Did you have that reaction with anything else?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
else?
Well, I've dabbled with drugs. I haven't messed with them in a couple of years, but I've obviously dabbled. And like sometimes it's cool and other times it's not. So even mushrooms, sometimes I'll take it and I'll have a great time and a great experience. Everything will be chill. And then other times I'll have a panic attack and I'll need to go sit in the shower listening to rainforest sounds,
Oh God.
focusing on my breathing.
That sounds fun though. Sitting in the shower listening to rainforest sounds. Gonna do that tonight.
It sounds awful.
Take an edible and do that.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's very relaxing.
Well, what about acid? When you did acid, did you have a good trip? Because acid's like a crazy one for me.
Oh, really? I thought acid's not as bad as mushrooms. Mushrooms seems more like a head high. Acid seems more more visual.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see things that aren't really there, though.
I couldn't do that.
Oh, but I don't take a lot. Like I take a recommended dose. I'll never take too much.
I definitely
it's always
taken
the
too
minimum
much.
people recommend. So like I just will go stare at a wall, and I'll gather other people to come stare at a wall with me.
And it'll
that's my acid experience.
One time I took acid and I went outside, and I'm not joking, everything around me was coming to life and then dying. So it was like I looked at the tree.
You were high.
I looked at the tree. It started flowering like these beautiful like cherry blossoms, and then it fell off, and then it shriveled, and it went dark, and it like got decrepit, and it just everything around me was doing that, like living and dying, and I was
my
like,
God, I freaked the fuck out.
I go, everything is living and dying all of the time.
Oh my
It
God,
was
that's
horrible.
such a metaphor for life that I
Yeah.
am not emotionally equipped to handle.
Yeah, no,
at
I know.
all.
It was like, it's weird because it's like you have the psychedelic experience and then you can like extract like the message from it. And it's like things are living and dying at all times, but it's weird when you're visually seeing it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the circle of life. But do we need to get high to know that? It's so basic.
I don't know. Sometimes you
Seeing
do.
it is crazy.
Huh?
Sometimes you need the reminder. I think there's people though who like do it too much, take it too far.
Thankfully, I don't know how I'd handle that. Thankfully, the only like I've done acid maybe 10 times, and like I would look at this floor. I liked acid, but I would maybe look at the floor. Like I feel sober. I would know I was high, but it's a very like sobering experience. And then things that were there would just move and like distort, but it was I never saw anything that wasn't there. It's just the things that were there that were moving.
Yeah, or sometimes you see things like I looked in the toilet and I looked at the water and there was like all these prismatic shapes in the water.
Yeah, you do see the prisms.
And I was like, dude, this is trippy. Just looking in the toilet, it was trippy. Too much.
I haven't done it. I don't think I could.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I just my mom did like 2 really good things. She was like, when I was young, she's like, if you take drugs, you will die.
I love
and
that.
if you have sex, you will get pregnant and die. And I was like, okay. So like I've never like dabbled in drugs. Like I like smoke weed, and that took me a long time when I moved to California to be like comfortable doing that.
Well, yeah, and then now there's like fentanyl and all the fucking drugs. Like,
Now I actually will die if I take drugs, I think.
People are dropping like flies.
I'm too scared of like being out of control.
I'm also like, I don't like putting things in my nose. No thanks.
Yeah, I've never
Like
been.
if I have to snort something off a key, I'm going home. You know? I'm a Jew with sinus issues.
I don't like. I've never been into it because my ex-husband was addicted to it. But at the same time, I think with anxiety, it just doesn't mix. And then I've seen so many people on blow around me. I'm just like, I hate you.
Yeah, I think that was my thing.
Like the culture of just like hot bitches going to the bathroom to put drugs in their nose is sad and dark.
It's very dark.
It's very like Hollywood club.
I don't like when I see young people do it either. That makes it worse for me.
Yeah, I remember like
Early 20s. I'm like,
like going to Coachella in my 20s. I remember like seeing like other people like on ecstasy, and I'm like, dude, you need to go home. If you're an adult woman and you're sucking on a pacifier, it's time to go home. What is happening?
Yeah,
Like
that's the bar.
biting holes in your cheeks. It's like, go home, bitch. Stop grinding your teeth. You're making everyone feel weird.
I think that was my thing because I just didn't grow up like drinking, and my first boyfriend like drank way too much, which turned me off it. But that was the thing. I just like was annoyed by people doing that stuff, and like they were just like so unappealing, like girls and guys. And I was like, you're fucking annoying. Like I hope I'm never this annoying.
So
like
annoying.
get out of my face. Or like when they're rolling, they come and talk to you at a night out or a music festival or whatever.
not attractive.
And I'm just like, can you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up.
I remember at a rave, my first rave, I've been to 2. My first rave, I was dressed up as an Energizer bunny, and I was on
Cute.
Molly, and another man came up to me, and he was a man dressed as a bunny, and I was like, are we in love? And he was like, yes. And I was like, I think I fell in love with an accountant that was a bunny.
But wait, that's like the start of a Netflix rom-com. That's actually really
No.
That's actually really cute.
Oh, you guys,
And
what happened was I sobered up, and I never saw the man again.
Really?
I also thought I fell in love with a PE teacher at a rave. So things got, I mean, that's how you know Molly's one hell of a drug, dude. If you're falling in love willy-nilly with PE teachers in London.
you were sober, or not sober, but you were single when you were doing the Molly.
Yeah.
I I would never do Molly single.
Really?
Why?
No, because I feel like it's a waste of the drug if you can't have sex on it. And you don't want to just take anybody
You can be
home. That's
single and
not
still have
safe.
sex.
Not, huh?
I guess you can be single and still have sex on Molly.
I'm just saying you don't want to like go find
Oh,
somebody because
without
then it's not
guaranteed
safe.
sex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
guaranteed sex.
Yeah, it's like, and also you're on Molly, so you're like, I don't want to like get naked with someone I just met.
Yeah, you need like that level of comfort.
But maybe if you're on the right Molly. Also, this should be an ad for test your drugs. Fentanyl. A fentanyl warning.
And you
Made me stop doing coke.
Yeah.
Good.
It
Like,
should.
completely.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And Molly and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you have to get that shit tested.
Yeah.
Well, when I see people doing drugs, I'm like, did you test it? Like, no, but my friend did it and he's alive. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good way to test.
No, that's just terrifying to me. But I love that it's also the same people who would never shop anything like non-organic.
Yes.
They're like those kind of people who would only shop at Erewhon. They're like, do you know how many hormones that meat has that isn't from Erewhon? I'm like, go fuck yourself. I saw you doing like blow off a stranger's asshole.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
We need a little balance.